Ship's log, entry 10-15. Tully's monsters and Cortazar had successfully found the cause of the station's self-repair, a sleeping beholder generating an endless stream of gazers. Wendy McDonald altered the beholder's dreams to stem the gazer's supply, then shrunk the beholder to blow it over to the Tully for extraction. Upon regrouping with Maxina and Beaufort Gubbins, the team tried to move the beholder towards the station's airlock. The gazers, however, roused the beholder, forcing a fight. The station's microgravity proved challenging for Cortazar, and the beholder's eye beams posed a grave threat to the others, with Wendy being paralyzed and partially petrified within seconds. Max attempted to intimidate the beholder, but they were telekinetically restrained after talks failed. Beaufort tried to prevent the beholder from leaving and took the brunt of a death ray, nearly perishing on the spot. Despite the odds, Beaufort and Wendy posed enough of a threat for the beholder to finally engage in talks. The beholder, Beshk, presumed that he was placed on the station after being forced into a coma by Yaush, the same beholder that tried to enlist the researchers into his army. Beshk revealed that they were dreaming of being a big werewolf, repairing themselves whenever they were hurt. Beshk dismissed the gazers, but refused to return to the DM Rezubian, leaving the station by stealing Cortazar's ship. The team returned to Mort and Maya, who successfully created a suppressant for lycanthropy. Max learned how their mother, Ina, helped the researchers 8 months prior, while possessing a Formith cube of her own. As Max processed this revelation, Beaufort pilfered werewolf teeth and Wendy gathered some readings of the nearby black hole. After finishing their debriefing with the scientists, the team, including Cortazar, returned to the Tully, greeted by a visually distressed Cami Ray. Before flying the team home, Cami informed the others of the forced clowning on the Rezubian. The proposal of sharing space weed was made by Wendy, but my sensors indicate there wouldn't be enough to share. One possible solution would be an infused ice cream. Further analysis would be needed.
Laura, I've been meaning to ask you this for months. I keep forgetting. Without looking it up, as a British person, what do you think the capital of Florida is?
Oh, okay, this is...
Shit, do I know what the capital of Florida is?
Well, that's our next data point. I'm just curious.
Look, the only name of a place in Florida I know is Orlando, and I know that's not right.
Oh, okay. Well, if you don't, that's fine. You want to take a guess, New Jersey boy?
Something in my heart wants to say Tampa, but I don't think that's right.
Okay, so UK and New Jersey have struck out. I assume both the Floridians here know.
Yep.
This is so interesting because the reason I'm asking is because I was like, I assume everyone who isn't from Florida thinks Miami is the capital. That's the most populous city. It's the biggest city. It's the famous city.
I knew it wasn't Miami.
I know that Miami exists, but I didn't know it was in Florida. But now that you say that, I'm like, yeah, no, it is. Yeah, Miami, Florida.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Where did you think Miami was?
I don't know. Your country is like 50 small countries smushed next to each other. I don't know about all of them.
Yeah, fully fair.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, you want to know the capital of England, you just have to know one place's capital, and you know our capital. I don't have to learn 50 small sub-capitals.
I know for a period of time before I moved down to Florida that there was parts in my brain's like memory banks where I thought that like Jacksonville might have been, but no, that's not it either. It's like no one knows where it is actually.
No one knows. It's a ghost town. It's really only notable for its university where I went. So I'm intimately familiar with Tallahassee, Florida.
I've heard of Tallahassee. Again, I'd have guessed that. If you put a gun to my head, I'd have said Tallahassee was in Texas.
I think we should remove Delaware as a state.
Absolutely. It is literally just a tax haven. It is like, Monaco or the Cayman Islands or something, but for America.
Well, I'm more on the opinion that if you're under a certain like physical size, you should just be absorbed into your neighbors.
All right. This is sizeism now. I would absorb you. Dan, you'd be gone if under your regime.
Yeah, but you'd have to deal with all of my toxins, like a poison dart frog.
Oh, we're here. We're back. We're doing Dice Funk. It's one of them downtime weeks where we have a little catch up and everyone has their little scenes and does their little level ups. But as always for the away team, it's downtime. You have to walk into a meeting room and wait for Ophelia the Gift to show up. Because you've gone and done things out in the world, and as you arrive in the meeting room, as ever, Ophelia sort of stumbles in, a little disheveled, and goes, "Okay, it's been real fucking busy here this time. What have I missed? Did you kill any diplomats this time?"
Oh, were any of those wolves diplomats? Maybe. Hold on.
Were any of those? Were those gazers diplomats? I don't know.
If you don't know they were a diplomat, say no. Don't hypotheticalize about potential diplomats for me. I'm looking for a no.
This is called plausible deniability.
As far as we know, we didn't kill any diplomats.
Look, if the answer is as far as you know you didn't, then just tell me you didn't.
We didn't.
That's okay. Thank you.
As far as you know, we didn't.
Oh, did it go well? What happened? Tell
Yes and no. I guess we figured out what the distress call was about. We resolved the issue for this distress call. Well, that's the good news. The bad news is the cause for the distress call kind of raises some really big problematic questions about what's happening out here.
How big are we talking? Like, are we talking someone's got a big space gun, or like what scale?
Werewolf Beholder army.
Well, no, that didn't happen, at least, thankfully.
Okay. You could lead with the Werewolf Beholder army isn't happening.
Right. There is at least one beholder who is really, really gung-ho about a war breaking out, to the point that they basically try to coerce both the station as well as another beholder onto their cause. And when both of them said no, this first beholder kind of punished both of them. So we're talking about a beholder strong enough to put another beholder into a coma instantly. And so that is a yeah.
That is a lot of not good. That is a lot of not good words you said right there. That's a lot of not good words you said right there. I almost wish you'd killed a diplomat. That would have been easier news for me to deal with.
I mean, there's time.
Okay, I'm not saying you have to kill a diplomat.
Are there any here?
Oh,
There were a bunch of clowns, right? You got any clown diplomats?
no, we got rid of the clowns, but there are indeed currently some visiting diplomats. Please, do not kill any of the diplomats, I beg of you.
Look, you should be happy we didn't blow up the space station as requested.
I'm very glad you did that. I'll also be glad if you don't kill any of the diplomats. We're currently being visited by some illithids who've come to get some body, some of the bodies we've been making. Please don't kill any of the visitors.
Every Ophelia scene has the energy of that Achewood comic. I'm going to put it in the Discord chat. It's I didn't do it. I don't know how to make it work. It's the guess who just got yelled at.
What kind of file type is a JFIF?
Okay. Ophelia goes, "Look, I'm not gonna keep you long today. Just write down everything you know about these beholders, and I'll go do the bit where I have to go have a very stressful conversation with the captain. Please don't kill any of the visitors on the ship. I beg of you, it would really be less than ideal."
Now, to give you some good news, maybe you could help spin this in your diplomatic efforts. We did technically help find a suppressant for lycanthropy.
I'm glad you have some good news sandwiched in here in amongst the potential beholder war.
Now, we did beat several werewolves unconscious in the process of doing this, but that felt justified.
Also, I brought my friend. He's staying over. He can have your room. Bye.
Okay, look, if you manage to suppress lycanthropy, I'm sure a few of them will forgive you for punching them in the process. We'll find your friend a room. Go be anywhere that isn't killing our visitors.
We're gonna make Hot Pockets. You can't stop us, Mom.
I don't want to stop you. Hot Pockets are not killing our visitors. They're great. And she sort of beckons you out the room to just put her hands in her head for a little while as she works out how she's going to bring up the existence of beholders to the captain. That's her problem to deal with later. You've all got a bunch of stuff you want to get done today. You got your little side missions. And we're gonna start with Beaufort. Beaufort, who you hanging out with today? What you up to?
Well, first off, gotta check in on the little sister, because Ship got attacked by clowns. Gotta make sure she's not dead.
Yeah, Ship did get attacked by clowns. Are you just heading to her room to go and check she's there, I guess?
Yeah, he'll visit her room or wherever she's normally stationed at, whatever I guess this would be at that time of day.
This is sort of middle of the day, but you don't know whether she's got work today or not, but you go and sort of swing past her door, and she does appear to be in her quarters.
Yeah, he'll knock. He's not rude. He's not going to just force it open.
Yeah. Bridget opens the door. It makes the satisfying whoosh sound that doors in space do. And
the two interns pull the doors open on
and
the
make
sides.
a sort of whoosh sound. And yeah, she seems totally fine. Hey, you're back.
Hey, kiddo, heard you guys had a clown infestation?
I mean, yeah, a little bit. It started as a party, and then some of us may have been rounded up, and there was a bit of forced clowning occurring.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah, but it's fine. We had a talent show. Everyone went to Space Denny's afterwards. It was terrifying, but in a way that now that it's over, is a fun story.
Did you partake of the talent show?
I mean, not intentionally, but everyone was kind of floundering down there, and I came down and helped. We all kind of got in on it together at the end.
I still remember your your 5th grade clarinet recital.
Yeah, who knew there were so many notes in My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean? It is a longer piece of music than I would care to remember.
Yeah, frankly, I think it was unfair. Some of those aliens had more fingers than you did.
Right.
Felt like they had a bit of an advantage.
Mine were only short. It was quite hard to reach the ones at the bottom. But no, we're fine. We survived.
Can I insight this to make sure that she's actually okay and not hiding any information from me?
Yeah. Roll me that insight.
Oh, there it goes. 15.
15. Yeah, for 15, she seems genuinely not too shaken up.
Okay.
And you're welcome to ask her about it, but she seems a lot less shaken than she did by the away mission down to that first planet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not gonna I guess press her on it. If she's offered up, he doesn't think she's lying to him, so he's no reason to be worried. He's gonna go, oh, by the way, and he's gonna reach into one of his pockets and rustle around for a minute and pull out a little glass vial that he's taken the werewolf teeth that he picked up from the last mission and bottled up for. I think Beaufort, throughout the years, for most of his younger siblings, like collects souvenirs from his missions and like his day job whenever he can. So what he's collected this time for is werewolf teeth. I got you some werewolf teeth.
Oh wow! Thank you. I'm. Are these real?
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, I don't know why I asked you if they're real. It's you. Of course they are. How hard did you have to punch them for these to come out?
Well, they kept biting me, so they were doing most of the work themselves.
Oh, yeah. That's not good for teeth. That's not good for teeth.
Yeah, you finished your teeth and phase pretty fast.
I mean, I imagine they did too after losing a couple of these. Oh, I've got some news.
Oh?
I'm going on another mission.
Oh?
Yeah. Yeah, I... Sorry, you're giving me the look.
Well, I'm just a little concerned. You were pretty shaken up after the last one. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy that you're getting back on that horse.
I'm not gonna lie, there was a little bit of time in which I was like, I'm just gonna stay on the ship where everything is safe and nothing bad will happen. And then something bad happened on the ship. And could have been the thing that made me go, okay, no, I can't do this. But what I felt was, if bad stuff's gonna happen whether I'm on the ship or not, why am I denying myself going out and doing cool stuff out in space?
I think Beaufort will smile at that and go, well, I'm proud of you, kiddo. So what's the mission? What are you doing?
Well, there's a big satellite array, and officially on paper, we're going to try and boost up the signal, and see whether just like a lot of power and a very big dish is going to be enough to like get us contacting home again. Just, it's a long shot. But the other thing we're going to try and do is see if we can tweak it to pick up any messages we maybe aren't picking up now. Because there's bad stuff going on, and if we can get a heads up before something bad happens, that feels like a thing worth trying to do.
Yeah, makes sense, kiddo. I always had a pirate radio on hand to listen in on things.
Exactly. If there's anything on any frequencies that we haven't thought to check, it could be really good to have an ear out. So I volunteered, and I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun. And even if it's dangerous, I survived space clans. I'll be fine.
He'll tussle her hair a bit and go, all right, well, remember your helmet.
Oh, don't worry, I will. Yeah, and with that, I think we sort of draw this scene to a little close. And let's hop over to let's hop over to Max for a minute. What's Max up to between missions?
Max is now a level 11 warlock, and that comes with a couple of exciting changes. A new spell for the general list. I picked up Dispel Magic, which I think is just a good utility spell for the bin there. That gives Max their first Mystic Arcanum. For that one, I picked up True Seeing, which I can cast once per day, which will be fun. I retrained one of Max's invocations. I had Agonizing Blast, which increases the damage of Eldritch Blast, and I decided, you know what? Especially with some of the interactions going on, I'm going for a little bit of a utility one, so I shifted that to Eyes of the Runekeeper.
Ooh, what does that do?
Eyes of the Runekeeper is very simple. It's 5 words. You can read all writing.
Interesting.
So that's flavored as sort of like whenever Max is looking at something, the various souls in such Informeth might be collaborating to sort of help Max translate what they're reading so it's actually readable.
There's going to be someone in here who knows that language. We'll dig around, find someone.
Pretty much there, yes.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Yeah, and those are the main... and also, Max's hit points increase, so their hit points are 69 right now.
Nice.
Indeed.
Nice.
Yes. Now,
I don't get it.
I don't either. But anyways,
It's fine. It's fine. I'll tell you both about 69 when you're older.
good. I look forward to that day. But for the time being, as Max alluded to, they have a very keen interest in the fact that between, what was it? Let's see, we had the two beholders. What was yours? What was it?
Yeah, Yosh.
And then the other one's less important because they did not accept Max's thanks, so they don't matter anymore.
They're just beholder number 2.
But yeah, Yorsh and beholder number 2, seeing all of that made Max think, okay, with all this going on, there's got to be some information about just general beholder activity out here, and maybe something can be determined. So, partially to help make Cortazar feel a little bit better after how some things went, Max was going to invite Cortazar and Cammy along to help do some research on beholders.
I like this a lot. I think that Cortazar 100% takes you up on this offer because they just spent the last mission bouncing around, not quite able to hit things in space, and is looking for any opportunity to be like, yeah, I'm cool and useful. Hell yeah. So, yeah. Is there anywhere in particular you're picturing sort of bringing everyone together?
Well, the question is, are the archives more like on computers, or is it one of those inconveniently organized and arranged like closet of just filing cabinets where everything's just on paper for some reason and it's just digging through all that,
I think the archives are maybe a little bit like 50-50 on that. They are digitized and computerized, but there are so many records and archives because you are a generation ship with many worlds full of people, that there are lots and lots of external hard drives stacked in cabinets.
Gosh, we have to do hard drives flopping.
Yeah,
Oh no!
Look, it's not quite going through reams of paper, but you are going to have to use like a SATA to USB adapter and look at all the file names and go, God, people did not give these intuitive file names. Yeah.
Just like, so now the hard part is not finding the right file, it's finding the right adapter cable for the esoteric hard drive and make sure you're plugged into the right system that can read the data structures. Oh boy.
Yeah, so I think I want to roll from you to quickly get this going. So I feel like investigation is investigation or maybe history.
They're both the same skill for me, so let's just roll here.
Let's go investigate then.
15.
Okay, I think with a 15, at the very least, this place is organized well enough to be like, okay, here is a cabinet for things that are fucking scary out in space, and you are able to get that down to like subsection things with many eyes. The big thing that you find is that you got away pretty fucking lucky from this beholder. I think Cortazar turns to you and goes, look, maybe it's because that thing was sleepy, disoriented, it had just woken up, but, I mean, from what I'm seeing on here, these things, if that had stunned all 4 of us, and then hit us all with Death Beam, we'd have just been very quickly in a lot of trouble.
I will admit that I was surprised that it still seemed at least willing to talk in those circumstances, given basically even 4 against 1, the numbers were in its advantage. But
I mean, and then sort of Cammy sort of chimes in, also scrolling through stuff on this drive, and goes, well, I mean, maybe it's because of the unpredictability of it all. They don't seem to have huge control over what it is their eyes do. Like they can't just death and murder. I guess that if you're in a bad position and you're having to roll the dice to see what you do, you've got to be a bit more cautious if you want to live. I don't know if that's helpful to know, but that's... Yeah, that one definitely didn't want to take a chance that it wouldn't get the kill.
Right. And that leaves me to wonder about this Yorsh character, Has there much records about its activity? I was even thinking about, maybe I could try to contact Ardwing and see what they know, but we can't contact Soul, so, that's going to be a dead end if we go down that route.
Well, I mean, do you know if there's any Ardwing out here still?
That's a good question. Would Max know about that?
I'm happy to say that you would know, like, on a basic level. Do they have, like, an operating presence out here, or is this the kind of thing where they would have come out to Sol for a specific mission and then, come out to deep space for a specific mission and gone back to Sol?
Right. Part of me is just sort of kind of split either way about that. It could be that they were just out here for quote unquote a mission, but that mission isn't even done yet, so they're still out here. But I would assume that Ardwing generally isn't just sort of like stationed out here. Yeah. This would be like they would come out for a mission and go back. So Max will say, unless there was more to what was going on in that station 8 months ago, the Ardwing group that visited that station before we showed up probably had either gone back to Sol or is off on another mission. So I don't know how much interaction they would have had with Yorsh anyways.
Yeah, that is a problem. And Cammy's like looking over these research notes and sort of turns back and says, I'm gonna try and work on some shielding, because a lot of us on this ship would not survive a single shot from a beholder if they decided they didn't like us all on here. And I don't know what there is in here in the archives, but I'm going to have a look, and I'm going to try and at the very least, I want to make sure that everyone on the ship can at least not die in one laser. Even if it's they're just barely holding on, I just want to make sure that they're not going to get hit by one surprise eye laser and they're just gone. That
sounds like a good idea. If there's anything I can do to help with that, just let me know, Cammy, okay?
I'll let you know. I just... I'm very quickly aware of how easily one of these things could just, like, rip through our entire... Well, I mean, a lot of our crew. Not everyone is as sturdy as the three of as you on the away team.
Yeah, and given that I have no doubt that Yorsh is going to eventually figure out what happened to that station, and once they do, they're probably going to be dead set on preventing, well, us from interfering with their plans any further. But
so to put it plainly out there, Cammy is going to work on essentially trying to create the item Focus Sash from Pokemon. If you're on full health and you get hit with a thing that would take you from full to 0, you've got you keep 1 HP once, and it's going to try and just Beholder Blast. Can't one-hit KO. Just a little tiny bit of holding on. Maybe it's a bit of adrenaline that shoots into you if you hit 0 to give you 1 back. She's going to try and work on something to make the average member of the crew of the Rezubian not just melt to one of these things, should they encounter them. So yeah, unless you've got any other sort of questions while you're in the sort of research room.
I think that's a pretty good foundation of the investigation here, and the fact that Cammy's getting a good idea of what to do as actionable to help out the ship in the interim is a nice outcome.
Wonderful. Austin, what's Wendy up to this downtime? Because you've been trying to collect little people and allies and stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to get us some friends because it seems like beholders are bad news. We talked before about, Cortazar's joining the ship. I tried to get this other beholder to defect, and he was really rude to us. But for my downtime, I wanted to go see the Flump Illithid that we met during the first away mission.
Yeah, you're going back to hang out with Jennifer. Are you heading back down to Suikiyama?
If that's where she is, I think we talked before about how that was like a neutral meeting place, and that she's like a practicing psychiatrist or something from some. I don't know where she is.
Yeah, if you want to get in contact with her, she's not too hard to find. There's not many listings for illithid flump therapist bouncing around. So you are able to sort of get in contact with her, and she does agree to meet up with you. Do you meet up anywhere particular?
No, I was just thinking of her office.
That's fair. It is, ground she's going to feel safe on. So she sort of welcomes you in. You're brought in on a very specific timer once her previous client has had a chance to leave, and she sort of welcomes you in and goes, "Oh, hi.
Hey, Jen, can I check your closets for hippos?"
Yeah, you have every right to check my closets for hippos. Roll investigation to see how well you check closets for hippos.
I'm so glad.
Yeah. Well, no, we've done an investigate perception to see whether you perceive any hippos in closets.
What is a botch gonna do here?
23.
23. You searched this room thoroughly. You've really perceived things. There are no hippos in the closets.
I mean, Rommel's very crafty, even though he probably couldn't fit in this office. He could be under the floorboards,
He hasn't used enlarged reduce to hide himself in a teacup or anything. Like, you're pretty certain Rommel's not here today.
He's the couch you're lying down on.
He's this is Snake Eater from his perspective. He's just wearing active camo to become the sofa.
Old Rommel just.
Yeah. You're welcome to take a seat on the not Rommel sofa.
But I'm keeping my eye on it just in case it is him.
I mean, look, you got a 23, maybe 25 was the DC to realize Rommel was the sofa, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
All right. I think Wendy says, "So Jen, you said the reason that you were going to break up the peace talks was because you had a very sudden onset of fear about the whole situation, and I'm here to just to shed some light on the situation. I have 2 words for you. Beholder."
Is that 2 words?
In deep speech it is. I guess in common it didn't really sound like 2. Where's the... I don't know how this language works.
Okay, yeah, no, you're right, and I'm sorry. I'm sort of missing the important point here. Beholders.
It should be 2 words, right? Beholder. Those are words.
They be holding. They holding is what they be.
They be doing
sorry,
it.
there's a beholder. Beholders? How many...
Oh, sorry. The 2 words should have been fear ray.
Oh. Okay, yeah, that is 2 words.
They're big floating eyeballs, and they can shoot lasers, and they can also make you afraid. Don't ask me how I know this. I've never been scared, or petrified, or whatever else happened to me. It's been a little bit.
Yeah, nothing happened to you. Look. Confidentiality in this room. I heard nothing. It's all good. Go.
Oh, I can just say anything in here, huh?
I literally am limited in my ability to say anything you say in here, so...
Okay, Cortazar and I ate so many pizza rolls I threw up. You can't tell anyone. You'll have to take that to your grave.
No, yeah, you're right. I do, I am enforced to take that to my grave.
We built a little fort out of blankets, and then this duck came along and kicked it all down. He's a jerk.
So there's beholders, you say?
Yeah, so there's this guy. We keep saying his name different ways. I think we've said Youch, Yoush, and Yorsh.
Austin Yorshki.
Oh, is this a thinly veiled Austin insert? Interesting.
The sinister. This is how when Austin doesn't get what Austin wants. They just send another Austin to invade the podcast and make mini Austins.
That wasn't the plan, but I'm now not going to be able to pronounce it any other way.
We're gonna get to this final battle, and Laura's gonna reveal a black square, and it's just a glossy JPEG of Austin's head with some squiggles for IRAs drawn onto it.
Oh, the icon of sin! The icon of sin is Yorshki.
Yeah, in character, Wendy doesn't know how to say this person's name, but she explains the whole basic situation the audience has heard, so that
Yeah.
Jennifer's caught up.
Yeah, Jennifer stops and takes this on board for a second and goes, I've been thinking a lot about everything that I did. I've been doing research on the days that led up to the peace talks. Fun fact, of the 12 most recent clients I had before going to the peace talks, all 12 of them are now just unreachable. They're just people that cannot be contacted. That all, by coincidence, were real intent on telling me about all the violent thoughts they would have if the peace talks went through. And that is, in hindsight, real suspicious.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. And a lot of people are mad at me because I may have removed someone's head. And, I think we should let bygones be bygones, but...
Oh, no. I agree with you. I am fully on team bygones be bygones. I cannot speak for, any of the soul side of those peace talks, but, any of the illithid folks that were there have got your back. There's not many people who would shoot a delegate in the head to protect a bunch of illithids. You'd be surprised how often you just assume that no one would do that, and we appreciate that you had our backs.
Well, I think we all need to have each other's backs, because if what I understand is happening, this Yorsh guy is getting all the beholders together, and a single beholder is stronger than a single mind flayer, but a bunch of beholders are stronger than pretty much anything. So it's going to be really bad.
These things seem terrifying. They look at you as though you're nothing. They seem to know every move you're going to make before you make it. I've heard people describe trying to get away from them and beholders just laughing with pity as they watch. They're sadistic little fucks, and yeah, multiple of them is not good news.
And statistically, they have more bad breath than any other species, just because of the mouth ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are largely mouth and eye. They are.
Man, a whale would have horrible breath, wouldn't it?
I don't know. I feel like they're just eating krill. They can't mess them up too bad, right?
Well, you'd just be smelling tons of shrimp, wouldn't you? They get stuck in that bailey. That's literally what it's for.
Wendy says, do you think anyone would help us if we went after this guy or try to break up the whole operation? I don't think we should just send our one diplomatic ship to take down some kind of warlord.
No, I agree with you. Look, as I said, I think a lot of the illithid delegates down here genuinely appreciate everything that you and the crew of the Rezubian did to protect us at the peace talks. We owe you. You might not have Soul's forces to back you up, but I think if I go talk to some of the other delegates, I think we can get some of Suikiyama's citizenry to fight to protect this peace if they need to.
We did take a bullet for the Earth delegation, too. I don't know if that cancels out the other thing, but if anybody's keeping score. Look, the everything I have heard is that the bullet to the brain kind of undid all that, unfortunately. It was an ice pick. It wasn't a bullet. Everyone loves to exaggerate.
It exploded a brain at the back of a head, and that's the thing people remember. But yeah, I can get talking. I can try and get some forces mobilized, because we really are trying to get things towards peace here, and if a beholder army is coming to stop that, that might be the thing we need to unite us. Do you need... Is there anything more specifically I could do to help?
Do you have any, like, armor, or can you make my stats go up?
What, is this on... You'd like a stat boost on top of your level up, would you?
I don't know. That's what Wendy would just be like, I don't think you can put an even bigger engine on my weapon, but if you can make me have a higher strength score, that's what I need.
You're a therapist, right? Can you upgrade my emotional stats?
Yeah.
I feel like Constitution is the emotional stat a therapist could maybe help with.
Maybe.
Look. If you want to sit down and have, like, you know, we don't have to do it on screen, but if you want to sit and do a genuine therapy session with this flump to get your, I guess, Constitution up, or some sort of emotion-based stat up, we can maybe look at that. Is there a better stat for I went to therapy?
I would think wisdom is probably the therapy stat.
Wisdom might be the therapy stat.
I mean, sure, I could say for my level up, I am a level 11 barbarian. The important thing is that I got Relentless Rage, which is kind of like the focus sash from Pokemon. So if I get hit and I would die instead of have 1 HP, I try to remember exactly what you said in that previous scene. I was just going to repeat it verbatim. This is live. Yeah, Wendy has that ability naturally now. If you want to kill her, she gets to roll to say lol no.
I was like, you got to do it at least twice.
Fun fact: I've had Cammy working on that planned since before you said the carrot shit. I was like, well, that's a thing. I'm not changing my plans. That's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Look, if you can justify to me how a flump therapist would increase your strength score, I'll hear you out.
Oh my god. Wendy goes to therapy and loses her rage problems, thus losing access to the ability.
No, she needs her rage. That's her whole character. Although that would be funny if it messed her up by becoming too mentally healthy.
No therapy-based stat improvement, then, it sounds like.
I was going to say, I don't know if this is going to help brain-wise, but I was kind of worried about Cascorn, that dwarf whose ass I kicked, and then I assume they were taken away somewhere. Do you know what happened to them?
Yeah, they got locked up. They're, I think they're still here on the planet, but the problem is doing an attempted assassination is a lot harder to walk away from than just making active steps and planning and trying to initiate one.
Yeah. Are they going to be in Illithid jail forever? Illithid jail is super bad. All jail is bad, but
I spent so long thinking about how I got into that position, I hadn't really stopped to think about whether anyone else involved in this was manipulated to where they got. And that is a thought now, huh? I can go pull up the data and find out where she is.
Yeah, I mean, like, Mind Flayers killed her family, and, like, they do suck, and I am also fighting them, so, like, I get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I think everyone just got a bit lost in the aftermath of the peace talks, and I don't know if anyone's thought about that. That's a problem. I'm gonna see if we can find out where she is. And Jennifer starts hurriedly making some calls.
Would you say that it took emotional wisdom for me? Like maybe +2?
No. If you're not going to go to therapy and lose your rage, then you do not get free wisdom. That's the trade-off. If you lose your rage entirely, you can have as much bonus wisdom as you like that won't help your build.
Yeah. That's that's messed up. That'd be so funny, though. If I go with my next fight and I'm like, I've never been more self-actualized. Oh no, I'm dying.
Oh no, I'm not mentally ill enough to be able to be effective anymore.
Yeah. In terms of the like trying to get people together to be allies, I think you do also during this downtime get confirmation through from Ophelia that the Rezubian has been contacted by the crew of the werewolf station, who are not going to be much help in a fight necessarily, now that they are considerably less werewolfed out. But if there is anything they can do to help, they are a station crewed with a lot of scientists and a lot of researchers. They are also happy to help the crew of the Rezubian in whatever way they can.
I was gonna say, man, it sucks that they cured themselves. Why couldn't they be ill for our benefit?
Yeah, why couldn't they? You know what, Wendy? If that's how you feel, we could go get those werewolf teeth that are in the in Bridget's glass bottle and stab them in your arm, and then you could be like ill for everyone's benefit.
I like this plan.
This just thinks back to like, how can I intentionally infect someone with werewolf with lycanthropy? Is like, well, now we got a reason, maybe.
Yeah. If you like the sound of being a werewolf for everyone else's benefit, Wendy, just speak up.
You know what? Maybe it's time for them to become real suck scientists.
I just think of that famous light novel. I became a werewolf for everyone else's benefit. You know,
it's my favorite anime of last season. So you do now have the Illithid delegation's backing. Should a war come, they will start mobilizing forces that are willing to stand up against potentially a beholder army. You have the crew of a station of formerly, currently not werewolves. You've got some things being collected up.
I'm filling the galactic readiness meter.
Yeah, you're not just going to get it past like the basic threshold you got to get it past. You're going to get it to that point where you get to see the ending where Shepard's hand moves right at the end.
Oh no, we have to do the multiplayer. I didn't have Xbox Live.
It's fine. Me and Austin are doing the multiplayer. We're playing with other people in the home sessions.
They're not making a lot of friends, I'm going to be honest with you.
They're not making a lot of friends, but we're doing all right over here in friend-making corner.
I think Mass Effect 3's ending is one of those formative moments of my young life. I think that broke something in me.
It's so funny. That was your young life, because I was fully an adult. I was...
That's 2012. I was I was in sophomore year of high school.
Holy shit.
All right.
Gosh, I'd have been 21 when that came out. Oh, I don't like that. No, let's get rid.
Nope.
Let's get rid of that information. That's
true anymore. It is.
I was 14.
No, you weren't.
Anyway, let's circle back around to Beaufort. Beaufort, you got something else to get done today. But before you do, we didn't hear about your level up at the start. Tell me about your level up.
Yeah. So not much really changes here for Beaufort. I gained some more hit points. I have 91 hit points. The only ability I gain is called Spell Storing Item. Basically, I can take a weapon or a set of tools and infuse it with any first or second level spell from the Artificer spell list, and it can be cast, I believe it is 10 times until the next long rest.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I think the way Beaufort's spending his downtime is that while Wendy might be like trying to gather allies, Beaufort's not a really social person. He can only like work in making mechanical changes to things, so building weapons, building armor, that sort of thing. And the way this is gonna work is that so he gets the spell storing item ability, right? And I think we see Beaufort like walking towards the shuttle bay, and he's got like his HUD up in front of him, right? And it's got his file folder structures, and it has like his lists of projects in it. So like there's one that's tagged for Wendy, and it's through Looking Glass, and that's marked to go to the what's it called, the Cloak of Elvenkind, because it's looking into a different reality. There's the one he's just completed, which is something he's going to be giving to Max, is Maximum Overdrive, and that is a modification for his pistol to be able to store and operate one of his spells 10 times per day. And there's another entry, and there's 2 more entries in this project list for active projects. One of which is just Full Moon, which he does not open up in front of the audience, and the other is Ice Age. And today he is going around the ship to every one of these, and this has been canonized in the last Downtime, bathroom ice cream stations, and dismantling them for parts.
Okay, now, to be clear, you've got to be very selective about which ice cream machines you dismantle for parts, because I don't know if it's been made canon in the away sessions, but in home it's been discussed that every one of them has a unique flavor that only that machine produces. So, like, you've got to be real careful to not, like, dismantle one of the machines that's, like, that's the only bubblegum machine on the entire ship.
Oh my gosh. Is it just a machine that dispenses ice cream with, like, the weird misplaced gumball eyes from any...
Yeah, it's... Look, if someone's favorite flavor is the beef brisket ice cream and you dismantle that one machine, you are going to have some unhappy people on the ship.
If you are going and getting the bathroom ice cream, something has gone wrong and you need to go talk to the therapist, Flump.
So, look, you may be correct, but also this is a ship full of people who found out that they can't go home for the foreseeable future, and if they want to have some ice cream and cry in the bathroom, that's their right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you are cannibalizing some of the ice cream machines carefully for parts, or are you just picking one unpopular flavor and being like, that whole machine just goes?
If there is one in the bathroom that just sounds awful, he's just gonna rip the entire thing out of the wall.
I need to know what the terrible flavor is. You're confident no one will miss.
Let's see here. We got there's
you know what? I'm gonna make some enemies. I'm gonna make some enemies right now. I fucking hate mint ice cream. It's mint chocolate chip.
You are gonna okay. You are welcome to do that, but there may well be consequences for like the galactic readiness meter.
Oh no! I was gonna say people are raving about butter pecan, but then someone may try to make better pecan, and now it's just a really pretentious sounding ice cream name. All be said.
Mint is for brushing teeth, not eating. Suck my dick.
You know what I need? I'm gonna need a stealth roll from Beaufort to stealthily remove the only mint ice cream machine on the ship.
All right.
Do you do this unnoticed? Are you able to get away with this?
Oh, I think I have disadvantage because I have a giant robot shit.
You are. Oh no!
I got a 1. Wait, hold on.
Let's see if it botch. Come on.
Yeah, I got a 1.
Okay, it's not a botch, so you've got that going for you. I think the way this goes is that one person who was on their way to get bathroom mint ice cream sees what you've done, and they're not going to say anything instantly, but word is going to spread around the ship that you are the reason no one gets mint ice cream anymore.
I think Beaufort wasn't even being stealthy about it. He just ripped it out of the wall.
Oh, no, you know what, for a 1? Bridget's going to hear about it. Bridget's going to eventually hear about the fact that you are the reason there's no mint ice cream on the ship now.
This is the point of contention, the one point of contention between the siblings.
Yeah.
Beaufort can't stand mint ice cream. Bridget loves it. They will never see eye to eye on this.
Yep. Well, we'll deal with that at a later point. You now have a bunch of parts. What are you doing with all these ice cream parts, I wonder?
So Beaufort thinks that the Tully monster is in need of an upgrade, and he wants to give it a freeze ray at the end of its little grab and claw.
Yes. So specifically, this is the away team's sort of little runabout ship that takes you to and from missions. This is not the Rezubian as a whole. Yeah, basically so that if you got into conflict while in this ship, you'd have a little bit more offensive ability.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any sort of help required on putting this together? And is there anything that he needs to that Beaufort needs to sort of get this going?
So I don't think Beaufort would be the kind of person to ask for help. I think his process is he just throws himself at a task until he completes it.
Okay, I think you're doing some pretty public ship modifications.
Yeah, he's not stealthy about this. He's carrying an entire ice cream dispenser on one shoulder, wearing a mechanic's suit, and just trundling into the bay and putting the shuttle up on a stand and getting to work.
And this is, the mint ice cream machine, which is Trizzy's favorite flavor of ice cream. So you see this small little goblin who is very aware of, hey, I pay attention to all the comings and goings mechanically on the ship, scuttles up to you and goes, I can't help but see that you happen to have taken the mint ice cream machine. What you up to there, buddy?
Beaufort is like under the ship at this point, and it's like SVU where the detectives are questioning a New Yorker moving boxes and they don't stop moving boxes.
Yeah.
So he keeps working. He goes, well, this thing is in desperate need of weaponry, and I'm cannibalizing it for parts.
I mean, you could have chosen literally any other flavor.
It's fine. I chose the worst one.
Literally no one in the last 4 years has had the meatball and marinara ice cream. Like, not one person.
Well, unfortunately, that's Beaufort's favorite.
Well, okay, fine. Next time I need to do a repair job, I'm going to dismantle the meatball marinara machine.
How dare you? How dare you bring this to my door?
I'll make a meatball marinara ray or something.
Well, actually, that sounds pretty good, frankly.
The marinara ale?
Well, now I'm not seeing a downside.
Okay. Can you make it so that this freeze ray is not only combat useful, but can still produce mint ice cream if I were to need it to?
Okay, here's my question, Laura.
Yeah.
Maybe this pivots from being a freeze ray into a effectively not a replicator, but it turns what it shoots at into ice cream.
I think that is a little too overpowered to throw in on the spur of the moment. I think it can have a setting to spray ice cream at something. Maybe you could target some key systems by like, they're all sticky with ice cream.
It's the flat cannon.
So I realized that think about what to describe this thing. If you just took any sort of like type of weapon that's a something beam, laser beam or otherwise, just replace the word beam with cream, it's a totally bad idea. Don't do it.
Laser cream.
Laser cream,
That's the real weapon here. You'll hail someone over comms and go, if you don't back off, I'm going to shoot you with my cream beam.
As this is going on, Trizzy has just come over and started helping with the build. She's gotten on board with it so long as, like, in her head, she's like, yeah, I can just fire an entire, like, ship beam's worth of mint ice cream into my own face. I'll probably survive that.
So maybe how this is working is like Beaufort is just holding up the shuttle at some points because he's got big robot arms and hands that don't really fit into the small spaces anymore. And Trizzy's like getting in there and he'll be like, who are you?
Well, I'm Trizzy. I do all of the mechanical stuff in the walls that no one likes to think about because it requires squeezing in tight spaces. I also am the person that goes around fixing everyone else's, mechanical things when, they invariably do them wrong.
Yeah, I know what that feels like.
You're one of them. You do a lot of you've made a lot of mistakes.
I have done everything correctly.
Yeah, of course you have. Look, I'll tell you this. You've never had a thing you've done go wrong because I've come round and followed up and just made sure it's all good. Just like a little bit. No, I did not do any of the stuff with your body. That's all you. The body stuff is you. I've left that to you.
Yeah, I think of you for being like, how old does Trizzy look? At per goblin years, I guess.
I don't know how to describe goblin age on the scale. I'm gonna say equivalent of mid-30s, but goblin.
Mm-hmm. I think Beaufort would just say, "Look, lady, I've been rewiring ships since I was 5 years old. I think I know what I'm doing."
Yeah, and anything you learn when you're 5 years old, you're probably gonna learn some bad habits.
I could drop this on you right now. You know that.
Yeah, and I would die happy because I'd be dying inside the remains of the ice cream machine that had the mint. Trizzy is saying this while literally inside the cannon apparatus because she's small enough to get in there.
Mm-hmm. And Beaufort's just looking at the fire button I could get my satisfaction, my honor.
Trizzy scuttles out and pokes her head out the end of the cannon and goes, "Sorry, I'm trying to be better. I'm not great with people. People are a lot. You also like mechanic stuff, and I like mechanic stuff, and that's a shared interest, and I shouldn't antagonize that."
I think Beaufort looks at his robotic arm and goes, "Really? I like mechanic stuff? Whatever gave you that idea?"
Okay, fine, I'll go back to being mean to you.
I'm sorry, this is how I joke.
Yeah, this is how I do too.
I work with combat engineers. I don't interact with civilians.
Yeah, no. Trust me, I also don't know how to interact with people. You're not alone on that. It's fine. How's this? We will be like this, but we will know that it's fine. Because we get that we're doing the thing.
I think we will accept that we both are doing it the right way, despite the fact that the other person is doing it the wrong way.
Yep, we can both agree to, let the other believe that they're not wrong.
I think exactly what's happening here is that they are both wiring it effectively identically, but they are both repeatedly undoing the other person's work and then redoing it until eventually it has gone into a electrical engineering compromise.
You did some of the work on this, and the work on this is in some places is good. I did some of the work on it too, and there's good work on here. Both of us did some work.
This is what we'd call in the shipping business a successfully delivered product.
If you ever need help building something mechanical, I'm perfect to never make mistakes. So give me a call and I'll help out again.
And if any of your limbs get hacked off in a horrific mechanical industrial accident, I can, I guess, give you a new one.
Trizzy is walking away genuinely I've made a friend. This is great. Hooray, engineering friends.
Beaufort now knows that thing he keeps hearing in the walls while he tries to sleep is.
And off she goes. And next, we're cycling back around to Max.
Yep.
You've got one more thing for this downtime scene still.
That's right. We have to go blow up the spaghetti and marinara meatball ice cream machine. No, No, I was thinking about some other jokes in the prior scene there. Like, I was like, so is there a mojito ice cream dispenser? Because that's mint in it. That could be salvageable there.
I really would eat a marinara ice cream, I think. I'm a monster. I quite enjoyed the Cheetos KFC sandwich.
Look, as someone who has previously had a sandwich that's just ketchup, it's just ketchup and bread. I'm in no place to judge people's tastes.
But yeah, getting back to what Max is actually doing. Well, it's time to go to bed. Max is whether or not they want to, they're going to be pulled into the 4-myth meeting room in their mind, effectively.
Yep.
Into the dream space.
You come back to the astral conference room, ready for another night of pulling in mental delegates. Delegate is such a fun word. I've realised I've lent on it as a crutch. I like the word delegate.
It's time to decrypt some delegates. Let's go.
Yeah.
Max will go in and they enter however they can with a little bit of purpose before just sort of looking around those in the chamber and then just sort of turning to one of the first ones they see, just asking them, so is everyone in here someone who has, used 4-myth before?
Yeah, I think Alma the Yuan-Ti turns to you and goes, as far as I can tell, everyone here is someone who's used 4-myth. We all have a story.
Mm-hmm.
They don't all match up to each other's, but we all did use 4-myth.
Okay. Well, in that case, during the last mission, it had been brought to my attention that, to put it simply, it looks like my mother had 4-myth at some point before me. And that then makes me wonder, is my mom in here?
I mean, we don't know who's in here until you decrypt, and we don't know if look, I don't know whether there's only one of these or if there's more. I don't know whether your mother had the same one or a different one if there's more than one. It may be. Don't know.
In that case, I guess there's only one way to find out. And as Max says, as I sort of assume, like, the passageway into, like, the decryption space, as we have sort of established it last time, just sort of, like, opens up effectively.
Yeah. So, as you start to sort of attempt to find more forms to decrypt, I think it's fair to say that you can't stop having this little sinking feeling in your stomach that is on the front of your mind as you attempt to decrypt another form. And much as you feared, you start to see the form of your mother.
As before, like even in this sort of ethereal form, the fur on like the back of Max's neck sort of bristles up, and they sort of get a bit guarded as they see the shape of their mother come to form. And all Max can sort of muster upon seeing this is just what's going on here? What's the meaning of this?
The shape continues to take form, and it becomes undeniable. This is Dash Ina, who starts to become more and more solid, and there is a moment where she seems to recognize you.
What are you doing here, Mom?
Here? I'm sorry, I need to get my bearings. Where are we?
Well, we're in Formith.
Oh. Oh. Did you use it?
Well, I wouldn't be here if I
suppose not. No. Well, this complicates things.
Complicates what? It complicates what? What were you planning? What were you doing with?
I went to find Yaush. I was not ready.
Wait, does that mean that you're dead?
I don't know. I don't think so. I will tell you what I know. I was attempting to go get information. I wanted to work out what their deal was and what we could do about them, and suddenly there were countless gazers. I managed to track a signal to where your Yaush was currently holed up, and these gazers were not like any gazers I'd ever seen. They seemed to be part illithid. And I was outnumbered, and I needed to survive, and that's when I found Formith. It promised I could help protect you from the war that was to come. It promised me the power to get out of there alive.
And now you're here. You're here inside of it.
I took it instantly, and before I knew it, it was maybe minutes. I had access to so much power, so much potential. I survived a wave of creatures that would otherwise have torn me apart. I remember, and she looks around at several of the other forms and goes, I remember a lot of these. I remember a lot of them, and I unlocked so many so quickly, and I am here now.
Just Matt just sort of is just a bit quiet after hearing all that. Arms kind of crossed their chest, and they look to the ground for a moment before saying, yeah, the scientists on the station, when they saw me with Formith, they recognized you and the others from Ardwing there. Speaking of, what happened to the rest of your crew? We know that they were with you, 8 months ago, I think the time frame was, when you were on that station?
They came with me on the mission. It was meant to just be recon, but I told them to stay outside and to flee if things got rough. I don't know if they got away, but I hope they did. It's what I told them to do if things went south.
Well, for what it's worth, I was also looking into the same beholder myself after checking that station, and I have a feeling that my path is going to cross theirs sooner than later after we've disrupted his plans on that station. We got rid of the other beholder. We helped the scientists there. And that's not going to go unnoticed. I don't think so, at least.
Thank you for keeping them safe. I shouldn't have overlooked the possibility that the job wasn't done.
But as for you being here right now, I guess now that you're, as you are right now, I suppose the only thing I can do for the time being is what I've been doing with the others, sort of. And decrypt you so you're, available to help.
Well, I'll do what I can to help.
Yeah, no need for any sort of test to make sure that I'm, capable enough of...
Oh no. I know you're capable enough. And she sort of, does the little pinch on the cheek, just a sort of playful, yeah. She knows, you've got this.
And I assume that she just makes her way on into the same space as everyone else. And I assume that while that's happening, Max kind of just stays out in the other space there to just sort of think to themselves over what has just happened and what it means.
Yeah. And between this episode and next, we can work out mechanically what this 4-myth upgrade will be mechanically. But yes, for now, that is information that you have, I think, suspected, but is now confirmed.
All right. Well, Max is sort of still sort of dumbstruck about all this, trying to understand what could all mean, and who was the voice that they were hearing when they came across Formith on that, more or less asteroid that they crashed on and such like that. Why was it there? All fascinating questions for them to spend the rest of their sleep/session sort of mulling over as they.
I can't imagine they're going to get a great night's sleep, if I'm honest.
No, I could propose a saving throw to see how restful the sleep is. Maybe just.
You know what? Let's get a how well did you sleep roll?
What saving throw would you like for that one there?
I feel like it's going to be Constitution.
All right. 17.
17? Look. You technically slept for a long time with a 17.
Mm-hmm.
You slept through the night. How you feel tomorrow is maybe another question, but you did get the sleep.
I have a proposal for how Max wakes up the following day.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan, I just like the idea of Beaufort just being in Max's room and working on the the upgrade, just waking up Max in the process.
Yeah, Beaufort knocked on your door and didn't got no response, and then just kind of opened it anyway and just took Max's gun and started working. I will say, I would have been laughing so hard if after that heartfelt, heart-wrenching moment, Max's mom went, "Oh no, I'm still gonna beat the shit out of you."
Oh, that would have been pretty fun. It would have been fun to just roll one attack and see who just wins in that. But yes, Max sort of groggily opens her eyes and looks up to Beaufort and it's just what? What are you doing here, Beaufort?
Fixing up your gun. And he's got it disassembled in front of him, and he's starting to put it back together. Man, you were saying some weird stuff in your sleep, man.
Yeah, that's been the case for a while now. And I'm pretty sure that while that's having the little Formith cube thing just sort of floating just next to the head, next to the bed, over the nightstand, basically.
Mm-hmm. I think Beaufort sees the cube floating. He's like, yeah. What's the deal with that thing? Is it I don't know, stolen nanotech or something?
I don't entirely know. I I crashed at an asteroid, found it on there. It told me that it could help me, and when I offered up, well, Cammie's pistol right there that she designed for me, then it sort of, I don't know, became linked to me somehow.
I think Beaufort like pauses for a second when you say it talked to you, and he's like, "That thing's an AI? Is it sentient? You got a talking cube?"
I don't know if it's well. I mean, you were there. You saw the flump that was out and talking. You know that it came from the cube there.
Yeah, I thought that was like a virtual construct. I wasn't really like. I mean that Goblin Tizzy, she's got a boyfriend that talks. And that's a hologram.
I just like she has a boyfriend that talks, and boyfriends can't be real. That must be a hologram. but Max just like, no, like I don't know if it's an AI or nano machines or mint ice cream, but all I know is just like it communicates with me, and and it's kind of talking in my head all the time,
It's talking to you all the time.
More or less, yeah.
That doesn't sound healthy, Max.
Well, I mean, it would explain what I'm talking when I'm sleeping, though.
Yeah, it explains it. That doesn't mean it's good for you.
I don't have much choice in the matter now. Now I'm still a little concerned. Cammie made that gun for me, so what are you doing with it?
Beaufort will finish reassembling it, and with sort of like taking his hand, like weigh it for a moment, and then like flip it so he's got the pistol grip out facing towards Max and offer it to him, to them.
Max will take the pistol carefully and evaluate it.
Yeah, so he hasn't like butchered it or anything, but it's kind of like he's like added on a how would I put this? If this was like a really sleek, super well-tuned gun before, it's still the same gun, but now it's kind of like it's been dead spacified. It's been turned into a partially industrial tool. And it's got like a little like loading port on the side of it for like an extra like small like power cell. And Beaufort will flick that with one thumb towards Max to catch. Load that in, press the button on the side, point it at me, and then somewhere else in the room.
You want me to point my gun at you?
You've already shot me before.
Oh, I mean, intentionally. You want me to intentionally shoot at you?
I'd rather you intentionally shoot me than accidentally.
All right. And so Max just sort of loads it and does as instructed, points at Beaufort, and then points at, by the doorway.
Mm-hmm. So I think what this looks like is it's almost like a digital effect. It points at Beaufort, and he like starts to like digitally like distort like it's like artifacting and shit, and then it sort of rips him from the point he's standing and then places him in front of the door because he's not actively trying to resist it. All right, it works. Point that at anyone, hit the button, and you could probably teleport him.
Probably. And then just Max points over by the door and just sort of like pulls I'm going to assume it's like a secondary trigger on the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And does as instructed in this case here.
Mm-hmm. And Beaufort would, I guess, try to resist this to make the point. Let's see. It's against my own spell save DC. What's happening is he's loaded this up with Vortex Warp, which is a spell that lets you point at a person in 90 feet and then move them 90 feet in another direction onto any solid surface, and you have to succeed on a Constitution saving throw to try to do so. And Beaufort will roll for this.
Try and resist your own spell.
Yep, I have a 17 save DC. I rolled a 17, so Beaufort starts to like glitch out and then resists it.
Max is sort of like, I think your modification here is broken, Beaufort.
Well, I made it, so I know how it works. What it's doing is desperately trying to convince my atoms that I'm in a different place than I am.
I see. All right. Okay. Max sort of rubs her head a little bit in thought at that. I guess we'll find some use for it in the field.
Yeah. Look, the way I saw it, you got paralyzed last time we were out there. Now at least you can move and fire when you're far away.
Well, to be technical, I got restrained. Wendy got paralyzed temporarily, but I
got shot by a death ray. I had other things to think about.
Fair enough.
I can load other things onto it too if you need them. Figured this was a good place to start.
I'm gonna have to explain this to Cammy. We might have to make this have a better aesthetic cohesion, but thanks, Beaufort.
Yeah, Beaufort will give a thumbs up. There is a Gubbins triple S logo on your gun now, and Beaufort walks out.
And as Beaufort walks out, Max also takes a look over at their little flower garden they have set up in the corner of their room, for just sort of looking at that a bit and thinking about what it's just passed.
I'm gonna throw one more scene in, I think. Austin. Wendy is gonna get a call from Jennifer.
Oh, hey.
Hey, I found out. I found out where Cascorn is.
Your tone is extremely cool and exciting, and I love it. What it portends.
I mean, look, I have the amount of excitement of someone who has located a person who is in prison, which is like not a fun place to find someone. Like I was quietly hoping, while I wasn't paying attention, the criminal justice system worked itself out and she's fine. No, she is locked up, but I know where she is if you wanted to go talk to her.
Do you think she could improve my wisdom?
I don't know. Do you want to go get a therapy session from her?
Oh, wait, hold on. Cascord hates illithids. This is going to make Wendy even angrier. Better rage, lower wisdom.
Yes, can I trade my mental stats for physical stats? No.
If you were to go meet her and like just not positively engage and just get angry, I guess. Like the offer is there and is on the table.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the timeline here. Yeah, I guess I could stop by. We have to hurry up though. We got to get our ship out of the hangar. There, some people are gonna stop by, so we got to hurry up. We got to go on a mission.
Yeah, we can do this quick and get around. I know you got stuff to be doing.
Yeah, I'm very important. I have a lot of places to be, a lot of things to do.
You got to get back in time to murder these visitors when they arrive or whatever. So yeah, if you take the shuttle down, you are escorted through some of the security of this prison facility, and you are led to a cell that just has one dwarf sat quietly on a bed in a very small cell.
Now, we've established that this planet is primarily water slide based. Am I sliding up to the cell door? Like, it's like that scene in Silence of the Lambs, but if she entered on a water slide.
100%, like a big part of the punishment of this prison is you have to see the guards having fun using the water slides and you don't get to go on them.
Oh, what a cruel system. It's fucked
Yeah,
up.
you can see the water slides, but they're just out of reach. You can smell the chlorine, but you can't go down yourself.
This is why we need to abolish prison.
There's a Dippin' Dots stand right nearby.
But yes, she is in the cell and not paying you much attention.
Wendy will float over and be like, "Oh, can I just go through these bars? These aren't very. There's a lot of space here. I'm gonna try to touch. I'm gonna boop the snoot. Gonna reach in."
I wouldn't if I were you. Are you attempting to fly between the bars?
No, thought I was just being weird.
Yeah, no. She recommends you not try and fly through the bars.
Well, this is not as bad as I was worried. I was thinking this is kind of a I don't know if you've ever seen the classic film The Squid Shank Redemption. Is that anything?
Ooh. Oh gosh, that's pretty good.
Well, they do say at the start of that movie, "new fish," so maybe it's new squid.
Yeah. Listen, that's the best joke I have, so you're gonna have to live with it. But you're just kind of chilling here, so I mean,
I could have ended up in worse prisons than this. I'm glad I ended up in the, we're trying to be nice and progressive and, that corner of Illithid space. But, it's not fun waking up every day and seeing a water slide you're not allowed to ride.
it's so cruel. It calls to me.
You'd really think it wasn't that bad, but, it really grinds on you mentally.
Oh my god, we have to reform this. We have to do something.
It's the new, really fucked up version of waterboarding, but in the most literal sense.
Water slide hoarding, I see.
Yeah. She looks to you, and she takes a second, and she goes, "Thank you for the bit where you ruined the peace talks.
Well,
We may not have gotten there the way I wanted to, but you did do what I was going for, so thanks for that."
wow, does that mean we can be friends now?
I don't know. You're an Illithid, which is not a good start.
How did you get past the screening to be in the position you were? You think someone would have, I don't know, looked into your background or something?
I mean, look, you put on a happy smile and go, I'm fine and mentally well adjusted. The thing that I don't need to do now because, well, I'm here. But, look, there's not a lot of people volunteering for deep space long-term missions out in Illithid space, and all you gotta do is put a smile on and go, "Oh no, I'm definitely out here to in my wife's memory to help do the thing to protect people like her in the future." And you say the right words, they're fine with it.
Well, unless you kind of develop cool fins to go up water slides and get out of here, I guess you're not really going to be getting any more revenge. But that doesn't mean someone else can't get your revenge for you. Do you know what Elder Brain was in charge of the bad stuff that happened to you?
I mean, I do, but why would you help?
Because she's just gesturing to her whole body. Because I have also been done wrong, and I don't really have a lot of outlets for those feelings except for stabbing. So when all you have is a stab, everything looks like a human's head.
Maybe you're not so bad.
No, I'm great.
Have you heard? I'm pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
I think that Cascorn is going to dictate to you some coordinates. You don't recognize them at a glance, but we'll go. If you want to do me a favor, this is where you go to fuck some people up for me.
Okay. It won't bring anybody back, but it will feel good. I know they always say that, you gotta dig 2 graves and stuff, but that's just because there's a lot of elder brain and they don't really fit in one grave.
Look, I know it's not going to bring them back. But if I know that they're dead, I will feel better.
I mean, you can't feel much worse, right?
Yeah, they can't, put 2 water slides in front of me and I'm not allowed to ride either of them? Oh god, they could do that. That would be worse.
There's gonna be a wave pool now.
Oh no!
A lazy river, the most relaxing ride of all.
Okay. And with as this is going on, Wendy, you do get a sort of ping to go. You are needed back on the ship, and are sort of summoned away.
All right.
Wendy's right. Revenge is based. It's just so great. If you're doing it right, you're not digging 2 graves. You're digging 30 because you gotten everyone back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as you make it back to the ship, Wendy, Beaufort and Max, you are also called up to the deck of the ship. Captain DeMille is pretty concerned. And he sort of makes sure that no non-essential personnel are in the room. Goes,
I'm sorry to do this. We have a problem.
Is it Barry? I'll kill him.
No, it's not Barry.
I'll kill him anyway, just to be sure. You can never be too careful.
Is the captain in I think Zordon has been referenced a few times.
Yeah.
Is he in a tank and maybe there's a digital set of eyes that has put sad emojis when he's concerned?
We've never established that before, but you can install.
if you want to establish sad emoji eyes, we can make that canon.
Yeah. They're trying to integrate with the world, right? And there's gonna be people that they need a visual reference for emotions.
You've just made me realize Captain Slack is basically there was a game released it'll be a couple of months ago at this point called Hi-Fi Rush, where there is a robot that just Sharpie draws on emotions onto its face to be like, yes, I hear this is it makes it easier for you to understand what I'm feeling.
I've been told that's a very Dan game. I'm still waiting to have time to actually play it.
It's very good. It's very good.
But yes, Captain DeMille says
One of our away craft, the anemone, has gone dark. They were on a mission to work on a large satellite array, and they've stopped responding to our hails.
Okay, I think Beaufort stands up. Who the fuck was on that ship?
Well, there were a few members of the crew, but I suspect most relevant to the both of you, Cortazar and Bridget were both on the crew.
Well, they're fine then. Cortazar is a great fighter. He can definitely take a beholder, and it does not float around uselessly.
Beaufort, I don't think says anything. I think he's very still for a moment, and then there is just a very concentrated sudden burst of violence as he punches directly through the table in front of him.
Beaufort, I understand. I need you to channel that into listening to me and going on what I suspect is a recovery mission, a rescue mission. We were in communication with the crew of the Anemone. They were making alterations to the satellites. We were checking in to see if they produced results. We were doing regularly scheduled check-ins, and they went silent. Their ship is still docked. It's showing on our radar, but there are no life signs that match them in the vicinity. No reports of a struggle or a firefight. It's like they vanished into thin air. We believe someone may have taken them, and we are making their retrieval a top priority.
In space, thin air is actually pretty good, right? Usually there's no air, so that's an improvement.
Look, I've been trying to use soul idioms. I don't always use them in the right place. I'm trying.
But yes, he sort of turns to the group and goes,
If their research into tracking wideband communications was successful, if they managed to hear communications that they weren't supposed to, they might have made themselves a target, and that is why kidnapping is our working theory.
Yeah, I think Beaufort is just completely silent at this point, fuming. He's running through everything in his head on what this could be, and there is no good sign here.
yes. Captain DeMille looks specifically to you, Beaufort, and says,
I understand your concern. I know what this means to you. But I also know that there's no one that I would trust more in this moment to do this.
Beaufort is gonna stand up and I guess look at these emoticon eyes in front of him and go, I've tried to play nice on these missions. I didn't kill those werewolves. I didn't want to kill that Corporal Bryant. I am going to murder whoever did this. I am going to rip them in half. And then Beaufort walks out of the room.
I will supervise the ripping. Max, you can be the liaison to the ripping. Come on.
I think Beaufort, the camera follows him back to his room, and it's like an over the shoulder thing as he's just like stomping down the hallway, like not even like trying to sidle around people, like even remotely trying to be polite. They're either getting out of his way or he's walking over them, and he goes into his room. Hits the secret button on his toolbox. Like the head probably sees him for a second, but doesn't even have time to say anything before he pulls out a case with the title with the words "Full Moon" written on it, and shoves it in his bag.